Welcome to the Art Lady's home. Today I'm going to start my spool adventure. And a spool is actually a miniature swimming pool loaded with spa features. And I'm also going to actually have a hot tub on one end. And I'm going to have a little beach area as well. So this is a video blog on my adventures building my spool. So I'm real excited about it. Let me take you in and show you exactly where it's going. I do have this big gigantic pond in my backyard that I built 20 years ago. It's going to break my heart, but that's gonna go. And so where you see the pond is where I'll have the pool screen room. And this will actually be like a deck patio area here where you're seeing. And then to the very right, where you see the grass, that will be my spool, mini pool. And then where you see the chimney in the back, that will be where the hot tub will go, in that area there, somewhat in that area, I think, so far. That's my plan so far. But I'm going to be taking you along on my little journey, so you'll be able to see step by step the processes of how to accomplish this task of building a spool. Welcome to the Art Lady's home. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my processes of building a spool in my backyard. Now, this is week 1 of the process of building. Last Sunday was actually the day that I had the idea to put this in my backyard. And I'll tell you a quick story about that. We were all sitting around for Mother's Day, and we were talking about how wonderful it would be to put a pool in my backyard, and I'd love a pool and a hot tub, and I've always been talking about hot tubs for years. And then my sister said, well, why don't you put a spool in? I said, what? She goes, a spool, it's a spa pool. It's just a small one. I said, but I don't have any room in my backyard. I said, my setbacks are so small. I had put a sunroom addition on. Let me show you my sunroom addition. When I put this sunroom addition on the back of the house, this is the back of the house, I needed a special variance and had to go to a special meeting for the variance to even put this on. Here's my backyard here. And she said, well, that's different, that variance, because for pools, she said, you have to build within your utility easements. I said, oh, okay, well, that makes it different. Now I might have a room for a spool. And so she said, yeah, just check your utility easements and check to see the space that you have left in your utility easements. So, of course, instantly I ran into my files and grabbed this copy of the survey. And when I did the sunroom, and I looked instantly. I said, well, what do you think? Do you think I have enough room? I'm so excited. And she's, yeah, you could put a small spool in there. I said, you're kidding me. And so since then, I've been working on the plans. Now, let me tell you what I've done so far. Of course, I took this and made a ton of copies, and I blew up the copies. When I blew up the copies, I figured out from the spaces that I've already have, the lines I already knew this was 35 feet here to here. And so I used a ruler and I figured out some of the other measurements here. My first step is that very night, I was sketching things in my mind. And so I started doing all the measurements, and I started doing lots of little sketches. Just rough sketches like this of what it's going to be. Start dreaming. Lots of little ways of configuring it. But the very next day, what I did was I called a survey company, because what I need before I can even really nail down a plan is I need to know this was my rough measurements here of what the space was inside my utility easements. Because here's my property ending here. So whatever your county is to your easement line, some people's easements are 5 feet. My city happens to be 7.5 feet easement. So I can't build anything in this easement. The concrete cannot be in the easement at all. If the concrete is like 1/4 of an inch over, what you'll do is you'll just be fined, and they'll fine you. Or and my sister said it's a big pain to do this. So I know I'm gonna be doing my pool 4 inches in from the easement all around. That's where I'm gonna have the actual slab done. And then the pool space can be put in this space here. So the first thing you wanna find out when you're doing your planning stage is hire that surveyor and find out exactly what spaces you have to work with from your house. So I knew from my estimations, for example, this space here is 26 feet long. And that's from my estimation. So the maximum this space could possibly be 26 feet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my surveyor. He's coming out next week. And he's gonna give me a survey of this plot. And he's gonna tell me exactly these spaces here. Because this is, like I said, an estimation. Once we have the survey in, then I can actually, my sister can actually draw up the pool plan, draw up the actual real pool and exactly how big it is. But for now, I have an estimation, so I'm able to work up some designs and possibilities. So that's the fun part for me, because I'm an art teacher, I'm a designer. And so this has really been super exciting. So what I've also done this week, now let me backtrack and I'll talk to you about the surveying company. You can have a surveying company come out to do your plots here. Another option is what the counties need is they need 2 copies of a certified, sealed, stamped, that means some kind of a raised seal on the survey, from the surveying company, or you can go to a title company and you can certify that, notarize that. They can give you a copy of it and you notarize it, and you're notarizing that you have not done any changes since the title company actually created the title for your survey or for your house. So that's one option too. Check with your county on what you actually need. I am going ahead, and that's a cheaper route, going to your title company. I'm going to go ahead and pay for a new survey. Surveys can be from $300 to $550, I found out. I did end up finding a survey company that can come out for $300, and they can come out next week. Some survey companies, when I called them, they were a month out. A lot of them are really busy. So if you check around, I also looked at their reviews as well. So I found a pretty good reputable company, and the guy was able to come out next week. Cross my fingers he's going to come out next week. He says he's going to, but we'll see. But anyways, I found one for $300. So you can either do the title company to get your survey, or you can get the an actual survey company. Now, what I'm going to do, the next step is I'm going to have the survey company mark my easements. This is kind of a hard map to see. I'll show you on this one. This is just easier because I didn't draw all over it. So I'm having the survey company mark all of this, draw lines and plot this out. That's what my sister wants. She is the pool builder. So she knows exactly where, 100% spot on where the utility easements are. That's real important for her, because if the deck is over this, like I said, there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of delays and some fines and some things that go on that are not good if it's past your utility easements. So we are having the guy come out, mark all this, and then we'll know exactly for sure. But let me show you what I've done so far this week. I did call tree companies. They're coming out for estimates. In the easement, right around here, I have a huge oak tree. It's at least 50, 60 feet high. At first thought, my sister said that's coming down. We're going to find out if that's going to have to come down, but I'm almost thinking I'm going to have to take that one down. It's close to the pool, but the leaves are going to just get all over it, and I think it's going to be a mess, and I'm not into the cleaning thing. There's also a giant oak tree right here, but this one I think I'm keeping. But this one, the one that's closer to the pool, definitely coming down. So if you have any trees that are near your pool, you want to consider either taking them down or having them really trimmed up good before the pool build. At least the branches that are overhanging right on top of the pool. So that's another thing. So what I'm trying to do is expedite this process so that we can be in the pool in record time. Because like I said, I want to be in for summer. So tree company, survey company, they're both coming out next week. That's week 1. Week 2. Week 1 was my planning right now. So all this week I planned. Now, I estimated my plots here, and I came up with some plans. Here's the house. Now, the actual pump will be located in this area. Food for thought is if you're planning to have a pool with a spa, or you want any jets for since this is going to be a spa pool, I want lots of jets. So my sister told me the closer all the jets are to the actual pump, the more powerful the jets are going to be. Kind of makes sense. So that kind of plays with my design as well in my mind. I want this space to be, this outside space, to be an incredibly relaxing retreat. And that's what I'm going to be creating. So for me, I want to just lay out there, lay in the water, and I want to have frozen drinks next to me, and be able to be in the hot tub, those kind of things. So I want it to be very relaxing. So the spa is important to me. The hot tub is important to me. And then this is a lazy beach area where you can just lay out in shallow water. You can even put a chair here. It's a shelf, it's called. And I can put a chair in the shallow waters. So those are some components that I wanted definites in my design of this spool. So I'm trying to place these all in strategic places. And at first, I was going for more aesthetically. Oh, is it going to look beautiful as I walk out? Whatever. Then I ended up my design as what is going to give me the best function. At first, I had the hot tub up here. And then as you come out my door here, you come to the lazy area where you just lay into that water, that shelf, that beach area, I call it. And then this is the shelves here as well with jets. But I'm not sure if I'm going to go with this design yet. But that's one possibility of design. This is the other possibility of a design here. You can actually see on this one I drew in the actual giant oak tree here I'm going to keep, I think. But here's another possibility. The hot tub in this corner here. That way it's closer to the pump. And then it's only like 10 feet from the pump. And then it's kind of secluded. Right here's a lot of thick bushes and trees. So that's another possibility here. And then what I wanted was, I also wanted the most possible area for swimming. And having it tucked back in this corner, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this corner angles back a lot more than this. This is more of a right angle, and this is a funny angle down at the bottom. So this spa ends up being a little bit bigger down here, and I end up getting more use of the concrete. I can come right up to the edge here. So I tucked the spa back in here. And I'm still ending up with, I think this was from here to here, 22 feet for swim area. If I put the spa here, it knocked off my swim area. I have a son who's 13, so he does like to swim a little bit. So when the spa was here, it did knock off a few feet of the open swim area, which I didn't really like that much. So this makes more of a difference here because this space is also wider from here to here than here in here. So I was able to get a little bit more room out of the spa. So that's my theory of putting the spa back. Aesthetically, I think it would look gorgeous in this corner because off the spa you could do some waterfalls. So those are things to think about. And I think I'm going to go more practical. I can still put a planter back here and have a waterfall. So I'm going to go with more practical, as in as much space for pool as I can get. Here's another design where I have the hot tub centered here. Again, it cuts off. This is kind of pretty this way too. But again, when you come out here, you know, the pretty hot tub view is tucked back in. But what's nice about this is you're getting more privacy. You're being blocked by your house and bushes for the hot tub. So I'm still playing with these ideas. After a whole week of moving and figuring and trying and changing and making little drawings like this, I must have did 50 of these little sketches of possibilities. I think I may go with something in this corner here after I've thought of everything, and then planters up here. So first week 1, I kind of nailed down a design set of what I wanted. I've also researched pools, and I tried to find pictures of pools that would look similar to what I wanted. And here you can see the beach area, and then features that I wanted. Here's a hot tub design idea here, and this is in the corner, just like mine would be in the corner here. Mine is more semicircular. The pool company said that she could design this hot tub any shape I want. Doesn't matter, so it can conform to my slab shape. But I may go with a more contemporary, you know, circular spa. I'm still not sure yet. These final little decisions I will make. Here's one that has a funny shape to it that would work. But these little final decisions I'm going to make as soon as we get the, here's a spool design right here, as soon as we get that survey back. So I'm really going to call and push that survey. I'm going to call the guy today and pinpoint an exact date he's coming. He said next week sometime. So I'm going to pinpoint that date down so I can start working on the exact plans. But I'm going to show you some features that I've pulled. So when you're doing the planning stages, this is almost exactly what I was envisioning, except right here's the spa beach area. This will be the pool area, swim area, and then the hot tub up here. Along the swim area, I am going to have these seats here so that people can, and jetted seats, so that people can sit in the hot tub and out of the hot tub. So you have hot water, cold water. You can still get cold water jets here. So that's a good thing too, because not everybody likes the hot. But what I did was I went ahead and I copied all kinds of images and things that I think would work for my pool once I nailed down that design of what I liked. I do want some kind of a privacy wall built into the actual pool here, like you see, because I do have a neighbor that's like right here past that fence. And so this is exactly how mine would be, the setbacks. I do have a picket fence here, but mine's going to be a pool enclosure. So I want this to be a wall along that side here. The wall ideas, I kind of like formal ideas, and I really liked this three spout idea coming off the wall as part of a water feature. So I thought that would be kind of pretty. My sister said she did have some things like this, so these would be no cost to me. So trying to save money is also important as well. So something like this, I kind of think I like that idea, the 3 in a row. Another option, here's an idea of how it would be, but it would be the exact opposite. My hot tub would be here, and then on the other side, the planter. And like I said, I was going to have a planter with a little water feature on it as well. But go ahead, collect. This is what I did. I'm collecting all the things that I really love. And then once we sit down together and design the pool together, she'll have an idea of exactly the image that I want. And that's the best thing. When I did my kitchen, I brought my brother, who was the builder, exact pictures. That really helps them because they can visualize what you're thinking. I like this kind of a spout coming out. Here, she said she actually has these lion heads. So this is the idea with the lion heads and then the large fountain coming down, or the water spout. And I like this. That way she can see, I like this kind of coping that comes around the edge of the pool. You know, this kind of an idea. I do want these spouts to come out. I've seen them not come out very far. They kind of just trickle down. I don't like that idea. But when you're presenting these ideas to your builder, it's great to have copies like this for them to see. This is another wall feature that I like. But also, this is almost the shape of my pool spool, but actually opposite. This little dip area will be over here. So it's just a little swim area, and then there'll be a hot tub in mine here, and then the area here, the pool, the other area, the beach area. So that's what I have so far. Week 1, and I think I did pretty good for week 1. Week 1, I got my designs, and I may play around. Here's a blank one here of what I did. This is what it looks like here. And what I did was on the blank one, I blew these up, and then I made spots and measurements of what I had to deal with. For example, I know that on here, this is where my screen room will end. I know that I want a 4-foot walkway from the edge of my house to where the pool begins. I originally thought I want to squish as much as I can, 3 feet, but when I went to my backyard yesterday and actually measured, 3 feet will not give me enough walkway. I think I want a 4-foot walkway along the edges. Now that just cut a foot into my pool, but I think a 4-foot walkway is a little bit better than the 3-foot space. I think bigger is a little bit better, even though it makes the pool a foot shorter. But I'm compromising the pool length and width for this patio area. But I think in the end I'm going to like it, because then you could put potted plants and stuff on the edges here and spruce this up without having to squish around your pool. And especially where it's the path, if I am going to go with the hot tub back here, it's your path to your hot tub. And if you're going at night, you know, I don't know how well this will be lit up at night. Sometimes you might not want the lights on when you're walking out, because here's my door. When you're walking to your hot tub, you know, you get it? You might not want those lights. So, you know, I want a 4-foot walkway there. So this is a plan here for me to just play around with more design on. But it's fun to sketch and dream, and that's what I have so far for week 1 of Hot Tub Spool Idea. Well, I'm very excited. This is Friday. I just finished making the first video, got off the phone with the survey company. They are coming out today. That is 5 days after my pool idea. So I'm going to be working on, this is kind of like a challenge for me. How quick can I get into my pool? So I've bumped it up already for this challenge by, I'd say, 5 days, because the survey guys, instead of coming out next week, he's coming today. He's going to be there at 3 as soon as I get out of school. So excited about that. And hopefully by Monday, he's really great because he's working with me because he knows I want to rush this. Hopefully by, say, mid-Wednesday, I'm going to go myself or him Wednesday, have the plans all done so that I can turn it into the pool company, my sister, so she can start on those sketches. I'll even hand drive it to her house as soon as I get the survey official from him once he draws it up. And I will have her start the official sketches. But now, so that means this weekend I'm going to nail down the exact, because he's going to mark today, so excited, my setback easements. So that's great. Then I'll be able to measure and find out exactly my widths. So Wendy can start on the actual final design. So today and this weekend I'm going to nail down my ideas. But I do want to show you some accessories now that I'm going to be doing. And what I did was I started printing off things for the accessories, just so that I have a ballpark of what these are going to cost, and so I can show her this is the models, or this is the kind that I want. This accessory is called a bubbler. It's a I think that's the name. I'm not sure exactly. It's a fountain effect, and what you do is you put this in. These are going to go here on the plan, and what you do is you install it, and this is flush with the cement. And this is going to be actually 10 inches deep here. I want this to be pretty deep where I'm going. These can be up to 10 inches deep. They can be shallow and then up to 10 inches deep. So I'm going to do the max 10-inch deep, because I want this to be a deep ledge, so I can be submerged into that water as I'm laying. And then the chair will get in the water as well if I have a low chair. But what this is a bubbler. So this is going to squirt up water like a fountain, like a gush. And then what it also does, this one has some LEDs, so it has some beautiful colors and LED lighting, so it can light up that area and then give a beautiful effect. I like the LED lighting, and it's, you know, you're paying a little bit more, but in the long haul, I think it's going to look really pretty on the fountain. And this is an LED waterfall, and it's a 24-inch. If you're going to do a waterfall, me personally, I don't think anything smaller than 24 inches looks that great. This is a 24-inch bar, and if you look here on this small wall, when you're designing this, you want it to be scaled to the wall. So if you have a really wide, long wall here in this space, a little teeny weeny little LED is not going to look that great for aesthetically. But what I want is this gorgeous waterfall to come down, and this is going to be all lights and stuff coming off of this. So you can see it a little bit in this bar, how it lights up, and it's going to be colorful, so that'll be pretty. So I'm starting now that the survey guy's coming, I'm pushing up all of my things. I'm starting to actually say I want this accessory. So I'm starting to figure out what accessories now I want to put in that pool. And my next step is to actually come up with where I want exactly my shelves to be. And the shelves are seats that come out of in the area of the pool, and then where exactly do I want these jets, because I want cold water jets. This will be considered the cold water pool area, and then in the hot tub, this is the hot water. I want to be able to have cold water jets and hot jets. So I want to have my seating so that people, as they gather for outings and parties and things, we can all be sitting around the edges of the pool, and then people might be in the beach area here with the and I want some jets in the beach area as well, and then on the seating areas here. So that's my next step, is deciding where all these jets are going. But I wanted to let you know, 5 days from the day I'd started, I've got my survey coming. Saturday, I nailed down the guy for the trees. He's coming to give me an estimate on my trees, and if he can cut them on Saturday, that's great. I'm also going to line up one other company, I think, for the trees. I do want to get a couple estimates, though, because I'm feeling that those trees are going to be very pricey to cut down. So I'm going to think about that and find my tree guy. But that's where I am right now, 5 days from my idea, and I'm already rolling fast on this project. My goal, I want to have it in and at least enjoy it part of my summer. We have 1 week left of school, then I'm on summer vacation. So normally pools will take about 1.5, probably 2 months, depending on permitting, to build. And then, because your permitting can hold it up. I am going to do a rush on my permitting, and I'll talk about that in my other videos when I'm ready for permitting. Okay, so there we are now. Well, the survey man just left, and good news, he's going to have the paperwork done tomorrow. That's 1 day, and I'll have it mailed in the mail by Monday, Tuesday, the copies, the certified sealed copies. So that's great. He's going to email me them as well, so that I can send them to my sister so she can draw up the plan, so she has it on her computer. But I want to show you how he marked it. He did flag my utility easement areas. So this is my property end right here, where my property ends. this flag here, right there. And I'll show you where the utility easement is, right there. So I'm going to have to tear up this pond, which I already knew I'd have to get rid of anyways. My water lilies. Bye-bye, water lilies. And then, but there's the flag, so there's where I can start my patio. So you see, it's about, when we measured it, it was 16 feet to my sunroom. So my original plots that I was doing in practices were off quite a bit on this space, so that was good. And then I was always also off about 5 feet in the back. The easement ends right at this tree. So the tree does come down, but I end up with a little bit more room than what I anticipated. So that's a good thing, because then the pool can be bigger. I'm going to max out this space. So I just wanted to give you an update of what the utility guy did, or the survey guy did, and that way you can see how they marked it. And then my next step now is to meet with my sister and draw up the plans as soon as we get, on Monday, as soon as we get the plans from the survey guy.